Hi, you guys. Snowfall season 5, episode 7, Lying in a Hammock. Leon and Franklin meets up with Louie and Jerome to touch base on what happened at the meetup with Kane. Franklin tells them that he don't think that it was Peaches who was involved with the Kane situation. He said he's going to get top notch to get some professionals to find Peaches. They also let Jerome know that there will be no retaliation on Kane at the moment. Jerome said, "Nigga, I'm still drunk. We're not getting Kane?" Nope. Leon and Franklin looks at it like Kane is an OG that basically raised them in the streets. No, he wasn't around when they was doing their thing and first got introduced to selling drugs, but he taught them street codes and things like that. They feel like they killed his brother and didn't take care of his family, and this is kind of what Avi was talking about last week, that war within. Leon usually know that, look, you can't let this nigga ride. Like, he just came at us. He tried to kill us. But ever since Leon became Leon Luther King, topped off with the fact that Kane is a part of their upbringing, Leon's judgment is clouded. Franklin, he's always pondering on his next move, and he always consult with Leon about the things, street moves and stuff like that. So for him, if Leon says that he's going to take care of it, he's feel like he's going to let Leon do it. Also, Franklin, him as well, feels some type of guilt that, he killed his friend and he didn't take care of his friend's family. When Louis suggests that Buckley can deal with Kane, Leon gets upset. And he's like, at the thought of Buckley even taking out an OG, like, that's not right. This isn't going to go as smooth as they are hoping for, because I just don't see Kane letting his brother Death ride. Leon says that he can go speak with Kane and try to make shit right with him and take care of his family. I think they are a day late and $1 short. Personally, I wouldn't forgive it if I was Kane. That's your brother. You just can't pay that off. But Leon does say if it goes left with him and he fucked them over, that he'll go and kill Kane himself. Jerome says fuck all that they talking about. He's going to find Peaches, and after that he's coming for Kane. Leon Luther King, he comes out and said, "It's not about Kane. It's about black bodies in the street. It's about wiping one another out." Who wrote that? I can tell just on that line alone that the writers has changed. It's not that Leon is on his peacemaking shit. It's just that Leon wouldn't be so dramatic about it that way, But okay, whatever. Also went down to Paris's to pick up Teddy. And Teddy is barking orders. Also is so loyal, because if it was me, I wouldn't do shit until he explains why the fuck he left me in that shootout the other day when we rode together. You got me fucked up, Teddy. Parissa, she wanted to stitch Oso up. Fuck no, freak. Get the hell out of my face. Teddy gives Parissa the money and she tells him that she knows his real name is Theodore. What the fuck that be? What? Franklin, he's down at the office with Veronique and they're going over the property investment. The city is going to need their funds in 48 hours. Franklin and Veronique is talking about the pregnancy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Franklin pager is blowing up back to back. So Veronique said, "Who is that?" "Teddy, the one who's going to kill you if the gangsters don't." And Franklin is like, "You starting to sound like my mother. Y'all been talking about shit." Veronique tells him, "Look, you're wasting your time and you need to deal with working on closing out this investment deal. Worry about doing your part and I'll do mine." Teddy is with Oso and he's thinking like me. There has got to be someone on the inside that knew all 3 locations, especially him and Franklin location. He asks Gustavo, "Did you see anything when y'all returned back to the bar that night?" Oso said, "I couldn't say. At the bar, his mama just cleaned me up." Teddy is like, "Who mother?" And then Franklin, he finally gets there with new security. He tells Teddy that, look, the Trojan horse was Peaches. He's telling Teddy that he's going to take care of it. They got it under control. They're going to take care of Peaches. But we know that Peaches didn't have nothing to do with the shootout. He had everything to do with Franklin's money being missing. Well, in Franklin's mind, because I still don't think Peaches took that money. Well, that's not enough for Teddy. Teddy is upset. And y'all know I don't like Teddy. I can't stand Teddy. But in this situation, I agree with him 100%. He is going off and he tells Franklin, this is sloppy as hell. Then on top of that, you're going to bring a new stranger to the drop. Speaking of the security, yeah, Franklin, he's supposed to be security, but I don't give a fuck. Y'all don't trust him. This is how Teddy is feeling. Yeah, and Franklin is telling him that it's cool. He got it. He going to fix it. Teddy is like, oh no, I can't trust that. So from now on, I'll call you before the meet and give you where the location and you come alone. I'll be your security. You fucked up. I got shot. So it's what I say from here on out. And I don't blame him. I can't blame him. I don't know. For me, even with them finding out that was Kane, y'all know that Kane had to have some type of inside connections to know all y'all location. And y'all just not worried about that right now. Even thinking that it was Peaches, y'all need to be tracking down Peaches and find every detail out. That's the point of locating Peaches right now. Is fuck the lost money. Yeah, it's all good if you can recover it, but you need to know the details of what the fuck is going on inside your camp. Franklin sitting up here lying, talking about he can handle it. No, you can't. Because if Teddy was to find out that Kane was behind this and he's still breathing, he would tell Franklin, no, you leaving loose ends. And that was the very thing that he told Franklin in the beginning of the season. No loose ends. He also tells Franklin that all those high-profile business deals, they going to need to stop. If the city gets nosy and want to know who's these black people buying the multi-million-dollar properties and launch an investigation, Franklin they going to connect. They can look down the rabbit hole and connect Franklin with the CIA and all over again. It would be like Irene when she put all the business all over again. That'll happen. So yes, I agree with Teddy. Teddy brings up Sissy. Why she bad? Franklin tells him, look, my mother and this business is not connected. Teddy said, everything is connected. Open your eyes. Yes, it's so true. It takes one person to connect the dots and it could be all over for all of them. Jerome is determined to hunt down Peaches. He goes to a VA clinic and asks the doctor if he knew where Peaches went to. So the doctor noticed Jerome's hand and he asks Jerome, wall of face. Did you break your hand on a wall of face? Jerome, he answered with a smirk of face. The doctor is treating Jerome's hand. He tells Jerome that he's seen so many people that he can't remember Peaches. Which I think the doctor, he just don't want to get involved. He know who damn Peaches is, in my opinion. The doctor took a deeper look into Jerome, and he tells him that he needs to worry about himself. The doctor asks him, where did you serve? In these streets. That's where Jerome been serving at. Jerome tries to pay the doctor off for his troubles, which he obliged, and he recommends Jerome to seek counseling. He can see that Jerome has been through a lot. Women, we are like that. We can read one another a lot. We do that. We can be strangers. Not every woman is this way, but you can be a stranger, and if the time is right, the conversation is right, we'll just break down and open up to one another. We need more men like this doctor in the black community to encourage other men to take care of their mental health. On the way out, this guy approaches Jerome. He's actually an old friend of Peaches that hung out with Jerome and Peaches before. He said that he know how to get in touch with Peaches, and after this meeting here, that he'll go and show Jerome where Peaches is. So Jerome, he had time today. It was Operation Find Peaches anyway. So yeah. Jerome, he sits in the NA meeting. It's an NA meeting for vets. So in the meeting, this guy, he was telling his story of how he went from Houston straight to the jungles of Quezon, just trying to stay alive. 3 kills in 1 week, can't sleep, nightmares. For 6 months, they was hunting and taken out one by one, not knowing who will be next. He was saying all of this left him angry. As the man is saying all of this stuff, this is piercing Jerome's soul. It's his story, and he haven't even left out of LA. Street life can definitely parallel a soldier's life. A lot of people from the streets suffer from PTSD. In the jungles, trying to stay alive, killing, not knowing when it's their time next. PTSD. After the meeting, on the way to find Peaches, oh boy, he needs to stop by his Asian Connect. He needs Jerome to buy him some smack so when they go to where Peaches is, the person to let them in. Peaches, he waited outside for old boy to return, and in the yard, it was real zen and peaceful. So Jerome was able to sit there and ponder, getting teary-eyed. I'm sure it was everything that he's going through and what the doctor was telling him and what the stories that he was listening to in the NA meeting. That's triggering these emotions right now. Leon meets up with Kane and to try to make stuff right respectfully. Leon tells Kane that Kevin went behind their backs to the Mexicans. True, he did go to the Mexicans to get revenge for his cousin Delroy, but the Mexicans killed Delroy for selling on their corners in their territory. And if Kevin would have retaliated, killing the Mexican OG, all of them would have been killed, including Kane in jail. This is what Leon telling Kane. Leon goes on to say, we didn't mean to kill him. We tried to stop him and shit just got out of hand. We fucked up and I'll own up to that. But so have you. If you would have just came for me and Franklin, that would have been one thing. But now they all want blood. Leon continues to show his respect for Kane, telling him that he always looked up to him and at one point he wanted to be like him. Leon tells Kane, but me, I always had that temper. Kane said, yeah, raging lawless Leon. Couldn't tell you shit. Never thought you would have made it out of Wayside. Leon said, I wouldn't if it wasn't for you. You always treated me like family and I'll never forget that. Let me help out you and your family. You got connections already and you wouldn't believe how much this powder make. And we have endless supply. So Kane is like, what are we doing right now? Making deals? If anyone was coming to apologize, I figured it would be Franklin. What happened, Lee? You changed on me. You really been through some shit. Yes, Leon has. You don't even know the half of it, Kane. And loyal Leon saying we didn't mean to kill him. I'm not saying he should throw Franklin under the bus. But why didn't Franklin man up and come down there and meet up with Kane? Last episode when Kane mistaked Leon for Franklin when he was saying Sissy always made sure she kept Franklin going in the right direction. It's just showing us how the tables turn. In fact, the tables has turned Franklin into a monster. I mean, Franklin was the one who pulled the trigger. That's the least he could have did was look that man in the face. Like Birdman said, man the face. Leon goes on to say, I would have taken that bullet instead of Kev. He was my family too. We can squash this beef right now. And if you want to look after your family, this is the way. Leon is letting the fact that Kane basically raised them in the street cloud that his judgment. They killed this man's brother. It can never be repaired. What are they thinking right now? Franklin is at the office and Sissy comes in and Franklin asks Sissy has she's been talking to Veronique about Teddy and the other life. It's funny how Franklin feels like he can separate these two lives as if they're on two different planets. Sissy explains that she only said what Franklin should have been explained to Veronique. Sissy feels that Veronique needs to face reality. Sissy also feels that Franklin is keeping her at arm's length trying to avoid her. And what it is, Franklin just don't want to hear shit from Sissy these days. You know, he got Veronique taking his mother's place, the woman that he confines in, and tell Veronique what he chooses to tell her. You know, half truths. And I don't like that stuff. If you're not going to be 100% transparent, don't tell me half of it. You know, come out and tell me all of it. That's being 100% transparent. He tells Sissy that the only help he needs from her is to help run that company. and help him keep up the peace instead of making everything worse. And that's fucked up. Sissy didn't do shit. Speaking to Veronique, I feels like it's her duty as a mom, as a woman, and a soon-to-be grandmother. He was just looking out for Veronique, and I could never be mad at that. Later on, we see Sissy with that tape recorder and pen inside her bag, and she's looking at inside Franklin's office, thinking that I guess she should set it up for that intelligence guy named Ruben. I think that was his name. No, Sissy, no. There you go. Now that's starting trouble. And sometime after that, Veronique tells Franklin that the transfer went through. She just is waiting for a confirmation from the bank. And Veronique apologized to Franklin for yesterday, saying that she knew what she was getting herself into. And my thing is, Franklin was hot with Sissy for looking out for Veronique, and now he's like, no, you're right. I'm going to lock everything down until we are all safe. And he told Veronique that it's better off that you stand where you at right now. And I'm like, but you was just mad as shit at Sissy for, having Veronique step out and do this to protect herself. He tells Veronique that Leon has worked out a deal with Kane. Veronique asks Franklin, why would he do that? You believe him? She tells him, my mama used to tell me, deal with liars long enough and you'll eventually suss out one. I agree. I would not trust Kane. Some things you just can't be undone, and I think this is one of them. Louie, she meets up with Buckley and she gives him what he been nagging her for, a person. The person is Kane. Buckley asks her, okay, so what do you want done with him? Jail? Buckley, you the one that wanted a person. Anyhow, Louie gives him that eye. Like, you feel me? And he's like, okay, I got it. But he wants $250K. Louis bargains $150K, and she reminds him that he's not the only cop with their handout, and she tells him, don't take too long. Louis touched base with Franklin and Leon, and they tell Louis that Kane is going to start buying 10 keys a week from them. So Louis said, he's making money with you now? You cool with that? Y'all trust him? Leon is like, at the end of the day, he just want to look out for his family. And Franklin, his simple ass is just sitting over there looking scared and spooked. Don't know what to do, just hoping that he can trust Kane's word. And he's like, whatever, everybody got to eat. So Lloyd says, you know what? The target is off our back. It's peaceful. That's good enough for right now. Yeah, the fuck right. We know what Louis is up to. Teddy is over here with transmitters, receivers, trackers, just a bunch of shit to place on Franklin. And he tells Gustavo that he's going to need his help planning them. Teddy thing is Franklin got lazy, in his words. He said, and he can't afford no more mistakes. He apologizes to Oso for leaving him at the shootout. He said when the shootout popped off, he just blanked out and he had to get up out of there. First off, why is he saying that Franklin is lazy? Franklin may have got comfortable with Grady and may not have been on his toes watching his back. And maybe that's what he means by lazy, instead of, double and triple checking, letting shit slide in that regard. Yes, but I wouldn't call Franklin lazy. Second, I doubt if Oso will be on Teddy's side. And I don't think that he'll help Teddy install devices on Franklin. Him and Franklin made a bond. They, like I said, they always had a good rapport. Franklin actually was a fan of, Franklin and Oso ran into one another before they even met Teddy. So they could say that their bond is stronger than Oso and Franklin bond is stronger than Oso and Teddy's. Franklin, he could have left Gustavo twice. Once when they at the shootout, because Oso didn't ride with Franklin, and he could have left him when he was sitting with those Spanish gangsters. I think that counts for something in Oso's eyes. Not only does Teddy has all his devices for Franklin, he hired a hacker to take all of Franklin's funds that he has out internationally out of his account and place them all into one account. Teddy is a bitch. He is so damn self-righteous, as if he didn't do shit or make mistakes. I hope they kill him. I hope they kill Teddy this season. I'm tired of him. Let me finish with him. Teddy goes back over to Parissa's for what I do not know. He claimed he needed to be restitched. But how, Teddy? She's talking about Tyron and how Teddy was back then and how he is now. Back then he was green and by the book. And years later now, he's just a grumpy asshole. They both got turned on and they indulged in what adults indulge in. I talked about Teddy's transformation in Dwindle last season. He claims that he retreated and renewed himself. And no, he didn't. He probably got worse. He wants to break Franklin down to where Franklin used to be when they first started. That Franklin is better to control. He can keep that Franklin in line. Oakley and Jerome makes it to where Peaches is supposed to be, and it's a crack house. Jerome pulls out his gun and places to Oakley's head. Jerome said, "You think I don't know game when I say it, motherfucker? What, you trying to set me up? Somebody better say something about Peaches right now before I start blasting." So Oakley is like, "Oh, I swear I wouldn't do nothing like that to you. He's here all the time." Jerome is taken aback because he never would think that Peaches would be a junkie. Oakley said, "You really didn't know? He was just looking for a way to escape his pain." Jerome asked them, like, "Okay, where the fuck is Peaches at right now?" All he knows is that Peaches said if he could pull this off, he would have to go on a run. Oakley said he talked about Thailand, and the other guy was like, he said Burma. Peaches is gone. Jerome makes it back to Louie, and he tells her everything that happened. She tells him about the Kane situation, and Jerome ain't trying to hear that bullshit. He don't want to do no deals with Kane. She told him about the deal with Buckley and that she wouldn't seal the deal without Jerome's support. And Jerome tells her, "Look, you do what you got to do. I got you." Aw, he's always by her side. Jerome is still fucked up about Peaches, and Lloyd asks him, "Well, I kind of understand why Peaches did that. Look at what Franklin did to Rob for being a junkie." Louis can see that Jerome is weary, and she asks him, "Are you okay?" And Jerome tells Louis, "Look, I'll always be here for you, but I need to reconnect with my people." He tells her jamming Jerome wasn't supposed to be the end. He tells her, "I need to get back to my plan, building businesses for my people in our neighborhood. I got to do something with my life." Louis, she's supportive, and she tells him that he has to build his dreams as well. And she also tells him as long as you don't go to Thailand and Burma trying to track down Peaches, that she's by his side for whatever. Oh, the love. Jerome tells Louis, "Shit, we can go there for our honeymoon." He said, "I know what I want. I know what I got to do. First thing is you. Let's make it official. I love you, Luann. Will you marry me?" Oh, Louis is so cheeky, smiling ear to ear, and I love it. That was a big ass rock. Jerome did well. He did good. Louis meets back up with Buckley because he's been watching Kane, and he plans to make a move within a week. And Buckley noticed Louis' big ass diamond, and he was surprised. He thought that Louis and Jerome was already married. And we all know that couple that been together for years, and we just call them, husband and wife, but it's not official, So that's Louis and Jerome. Louis thanks him and everything, and she's like, "The job, Buckley, the job." Buckley said, yeah, I'm back to it. I just wanted to make sure that you are sure. It's no turning back. And Louis says, "Do it." And lastly, Jerome turns back to his home, the one that his mama left for him. Y'all, I think that Jerome, we're going to lose him. He had his full circle moment, and usually when that happens, a death happens. And Jerome's full circle moment was deep and authentic. No, it doesn't necessarily have to go that way, but I do think something dramatic is going to happen. Like the guy, I guess it was Troy, their a customer, the guy that he beat up and broke his hand on his face. Yeah, I think that they're going to come back for some retaliation. And where the fuck is Peaches? Because I don't believe that he is gone. I don't believe he's in Thailand. I don't believe that he is in Burma. I don't believe it. Well, that's it for this episode. Now see you guys on the next one. Bye.